Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video of the Awesome Moth. Today I'm going to be talking about overpowered ships. Um, and you know, when the game was still young, um, the MC-80 was kind of considered overpowered because of its, its shield hit points and its overall hit points. The guns were, nah, they were alright, but they weren't the best. And then I think it was a few months ago they added this thing in, and this thing is by far overpowered. It is ridiculously strong. It's overpowered in every single way. It's got missiles. It could be used as a carrier. It's got ridiculously strong offensive armament. Um, and it's got a few point defense systems, and they are really good against torpedoes. They're very good. They're not as they're not so good against fighters. But I've got this thing, and for the price tag, which is insanely high for this thing, it is actually more. The Imperial Venator, which is tier 2, it's more than the Venator, which is tier 3. Yeah. This thing is ridiculously overpowered. I mean, you can go full in, distract the enemy, have your team, be blasting them with missiles and everything, and you can just go in there and ruin everybody's day. This thing is stupidly strong. You can brawl against victories. You can brawl against other. The only ship I would say that this thing struggles a lot against is the Yamato. This thing would just get creamed by it. I've been absolutely annihilated by people in Yamatos. Um, but overall, if the enemy team doesn't have a Yamato, they're basically screwed. I mean, a Victory 1 with its ridiculous missile base may be able to hurt this thing. But another thing I can't understand is when this thing starts to regenerate shield hit points, it only takes 20 seconds to go from 0 to 20,000 shield HP. That's overpowered. That is ridiculously overpowered. I mean, the MC-80, which used to be considered overpowered until, all these new low tier ships came in, this thing was considered overpowered because it had half a thousand ship HP per second, which it regenerated shields quite slowly. But once it regenerated those shields, damn, this thing was just, this thing can take its own. Now, I think the reason why this thing is overpowered is because it just has everything in one package. It has offensive armament, it has missiles, it has, capable bombers, capable fighters, it has point defense, it has a ridiculously high health points system. Not as high as the MC-80, but it's still pretty blimmin' high. I mean, it's got more. Well, no, it's got a little bit less hit points than the Imperial Star Destroyer, which is tier 2. I mean, this thing is just a bit too strong. It almost feels like all they did was they copied the Venator, which is tier 3, and they stuck it at tier 2. It's got the exact. It is basically the exact same ship, but at a tier lower. So in basically the baby tiers or the baby servers, this thing ruins everybody's day because it's effectively a tier 3. Well, it is a tier 3 at tier 2. So, and this thing, it is it better than Venator? it gets more access to things. I mean, the Venator here doesn't get any point defense, which is weird. Um, doesn't seem like a heavy broadside. But I mean, I don't know what was going through their mind when they added this thing in. This thing is ridiculously strong. Um, what I don't understand is that in Star Wars, I can't remember one. Is it the first one or the second one? You can clearly see a Republic Venator that has a super laser. Do you really call it a super laser? It's more like a super heavy laser. Here, where is it? Where's that laser? Am I just missing something here? Because on the Imperial Venator, Republic Large Laser 1. But where is that laser? I mean, I know this is meant to be, what, like a hangar or something? But I'm not seeing any sort of weapon bay here. This is where the super laser is meant to be. Anyway, I just find this thing just too strong for tier 2. It is too strong. I mean, it has everything you want in one package. You can be a dreadnought, you can be a missile carrier, you can be a carrier, a ship carrier, you can be an assault craft, you can be a defensive craft, you can be everything. And that just what makes this thing so ridiculously overpowered. I mean, it is actually more maneuverable than the MC80. It just feels weird. It doesn't feel wrong, but it just feels weird that they would copy a tier 3, which is, relatively strong at tier 3, and then move down to tier 2 without changing any of the stats, except from adding general point defense, which makes this thing even more powerful because now your missiles have a chance of being annihilated before they hit the ship. Um, I just don't know. I mean, for example, the Gladiator has no point defense, but it has a crap ton of concussion missiles. And this thing is, it's not that quick. It really is not that quick. And then you get to something like, you know, the MC80, which again has no point defense systems, but it has a ridiculous amount of HP. It is rather sluggish, and it has a lot of guns. I mean, it has 20, laser weapons. I feel like this thing should have more. Um, but I just it, really a Venator at tier 2. Do we really need that? I mean, you could have made it a premium. That would have been better because then you wouldn't have so many. Um, and another thing I find weird is that nobody uses this thing. It is so overpowered. I don't think anybody notices of how powerful it is. I just I just do not understand why you would take a tier 3, put it down to tier 2, change none of the stats. The tier 3 is already strong enough. Move it down a tier to where, you're at the baby tier, so you're tier 2, you can't get up to tier 3. You just cream on everything. You annihilate everything. Absolutely everything gets annihilated. It's definitely a weird way to go. Um, are we going to see more ridiculously overpowered down tiered ships? I hope not. I really do hope that we don't. I mean, for example, are we going to see a tier 2 version of the Recusant? I do apologize if I mispronounced that name. Um, but are we going to see a tier 2 version of this? No, please don't, because this thing is ridiculously strong at tier 3 already. I just feel like, why is this tier 2? Can't you just, you know, make the Imperial Venator, but make it as a branch off from the Venator itself? It just seems weird. So I I I I'm not complaining. It just I just don't understand why you would take a tier 3 fairly strong capital ship and then put it at tier 2 without changing of the stats. They could have nerfed the health. They could have nerfed the ship, the shield's HP. They could have made it slower. They could have, I don't know, removed some of the weapons. I don't know, but they haven't. They've actually added things on, like for example the generic point defense. It doesn't need point defense systems. It doesn't need it. It is already stupidly strong. And just adding, you know, the point defense on, it really insults people who are tier 1. Like for example, if somebody is in, say, this thing, which I have to say is probably a bit too strong for tier 1, this thing gets absolutely annihilated when it comes across the Imperial Venator. And the reason is because the Venator is just better. It's just a better ship. It's quicker. It's not as maneuverable. But you don't really see the difference. I mean, why? Why would you have this thing at tier 2? Now, I'm definitely not complaining, but I just find it weird, really. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I just recently unlocked the Venator. I haven't played the Venator yet. I'm a bit upset that it doesn't get its super laser here. Like, you know, give it, say, you know, like a 30-second cooldown or something like that. And, you know, it does say, you know, 3,000, you know, 4,000 damage just shot. Um, but I just, I don't know. I just, it's been bugging me for a long time. You know, I really wanted to get this thing, and to play the MC80 was painful. Because the guns lack range. They really do lack range. I feel like the MC80 needs to have a complete revamp. It does not feel strong anymore. I mean, yeah, it's really, really tanky, but once those shields disappear, it melts. It just melts. It really does. I feel like the MCA should have actually have stronger shielding and much faster shield recharge than 534 because of the overlapping shields. I mean, you know, every one of these, you know, little bulbous things here is, I think it's like a shield generator or a shield capacitor or something like that, which basically means it makes the shield really, 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 really strong. I mean, these things were able to go up against Imperial Star Destroyers and things like that. And these things will just cream on ISDs. This thing, it is my own opinion. It's my own opinion. I should have said that at the start, and I do apologise that I didn't say it at the start. But in my own opinion, this thing is too strong. It is too strong in my own opinion. Um, you know, it's not exactly destroying the game, but it gives a sort of an unfair advantage. Like gives you an unfair advantage until you come across the Victory One, which has a absolutely ridiculous amount of missiles, and these things hurt. they hurt. They really, really, really do hurt. Um, that's if your missiles are down, your shields are down. If they're not down, they don't hurt as much, which is a bit weird. But the Imperial Venator, I don't know. Like, this is, precisely what it looks like, without the red or anything like that. But, Jesus, like, you moved to tier 3, which was already pretty blimmin' strong, to tier 2 without changing any of the stats. It confuses me so much. Um, like, shield delay time, 20 seconds. Okay, but in my own opinion, if you left this at tier 3 but called it the Imperial Venator, and made it more expensive than the Venator because it has point defense, that would be understandable. But it's at tier 2 and it kind of performs better. I mean, it doesn't have access to the heavy broadside, which I guess is a plus towards the Republic Venator. Um, but it just confuses me. It really does. So, what does this have? Being my oh, there you go. This is the one with the Republic beam weapon. How much damage does this thing do? 8,000 damage. Are you joking? It can't bypass shields. That's alright. So, I wonder, does the premium Venator get access to the? Yes, it does. Why? What is this thing? No, doesn't. I like it that all the ships have Project Stardust on it. Oh, I like that. Only 2 generic point defenses. That's a bit weird. Extra large iron cannons. 500 to no 600 to 1,000. I do apologize. Shield damage multiplier. So it doesn't mean it does 5 times the amount of damage to a shield. So the Venator doesn't get access to this super weapon. Secutor. I would actually honestly love to see a nerfed Secutor at tier 3. That would be so mean. I mean, of course, it's never going to happen because, why would you want that to happen? God damn. What are those? I don't know what they are. That is a weird looking ship to us. But I mean, in my own opinion, I don't know. It probably just me. Oh, that's a nice looking ship. God, some of these models are really, really nice looking. I like that a lot. The overhanging bridge, that's really, really nice. Republic super large laser. Wait, hang on a minute. Is that super large laser? Okay. Experimental Republic. Well, hang on a minute. This thing has quite the weaponry, actually. He's basically a beefed up Venator. Oh wait, is this is basically a super big Venator? Heavy laser cannon. Point defense. So only target spacecraft. Does it have any other type of point defense? Not by the looks of it. Republic super laser. Well, that's a weird place to put lasers. Oh, this thing is so much bigger. Holy god, this thing is massive. Recusant. Super turbo laser. Jesus, some of these weapons do monstrous damage. Tyrant. Oh, that's a nice looking one. I like that a lot. I'm going off topic now, but yeah, I mean the Imperial Venator. It loses the broadside, but it just feels like that's not enough of a nerf. It just feels it feels too strong. That's what I'm trying to say. It just feels too strong. You could have put it at tier 3, left it at tier 3, you know, with the same hit points and shield hit points and everything. But it just, I just don't know. I mean, medium, large. Wait, where's the large located? Oh, that's the large? Oh, hang on. Point defense. Public large laser. Missile hit chance 10%. Spacecraft hit chance 10%. Alright, so it's basically got really crap. 7.5? Then how come I'm shooting down so many spacecraft and missiles? It's either I'm getting extremely lucky, or that's meant to say 75%. And then this is meant to say, what is it? I honestly don't think this is meant to be point defense. Because there's no way that's meant to be point defense. I mean, it could just be me, but I don't know. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy this video, give it a thumbs down. Put in the comment section what you think about the Imperial Venator, and would you put it up to tier 3, or would you leave it as tier 2? You know, change anything on it. Um, what ships would you like to see in this game? I mean, I honestly would really like to see possibly, um, you know, more variants of the MC class ships. Yeah, you know, I would really like that. Also, fan-made ships. That would be really nice. Like fan-made Venators, fan-made MC80s, MC90s. You know, if you start adding in fan-made ships, you are going to get a humongous list of ships. You're going to get a really large list of ships. And I think that's possibly what you should start to go towards is fan-made ships. You know, nothing too crazy, but you know, something that you know fits. Also, I've been thinking tier 6 and 7 ships could comprise of superstar destroyers, because we got the the fire count, wherever it is, the fire count. Yeah, the fire count. This is effectively, this is a what's it called? A star defender. It's effectively a super star destroyer. They just call it a star defender. So if we can have this, why not? Because this thing's 17 kilometers long. It is massive. Like for example, up against an MC80, it would just be monstrously big. It would be huge. I just don't understand why we aren't seeing other superstar destroyers, because I mean the like for example um the I can't remember that superstar destroyer that has the super weapon at the front. The let me just do a bit of research, guys. So, superstar, what's it called? Eclipse. Why can't we have now? I know we've already got this thing in the game, but nobody uses it because it is utter rubbish. It is rubbish. And I think this is the first Eclipse. Yeah, Eclipse 1. The Eclipse 2 would be a very good introduction into the game. Probably as a tier 7. And then, for say, the ex, ex, executor. Executor? Am I saying that right? Superstar Destroyer Executor or something. Or the Ravager. Just call it the Ravager. That will be really good as a tier 6. Like, it could branch off from, say, the Resurgence. That would be really, really good. The Resurgence is actually a battle cruiser. Does it say in here? No, it doesn't say. It should really be like here, the Resurgence, but here is fine because it does perform more like a capital ship. Um, but the Executor could be, could branch off from the Titan, because the Titan has that far longer nose. Um, and then the Eclipse 2 could branch off from the Executor or the Ravager. I just think that tier 6 and 7 ships really sound like a very good idea. The fist count, or the fire count, sorry. Um, I just maybe make it bigger, because when you're talking about I know this game is meant to be fun and all, but if you want to start to add in more ships, you need to really look at the sizes of these ships, because the fire count is gigantic up against the Imperial Star Destroyer 1. Um, Also, ram damage. Please, please add in ram damage, because that would be awesome. Um, that would be really, really nice to see. Uh, but fire count. Um, fire count star defender series of ships would ultimate ship one that would stand in ultimate spearhead legendary execute class for prototype version that had been severely downside this to break this back. Oh wait, so this is the smaller. This is the smaller one. Then why can't we have the super star defenders then? Because it just, I don't know. So anyway guys, that'll be it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, give a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy this video, give it a thumbs down. Put in the comment section what you think about, you know, the talk about tier 6 and 7 ships. And just overall the Imperial Venator, because this thing is just, oh, it's too strong. It's just too strong in my opinion. And this is my opinion, so can you please not attack me? Because I've been having enough of that already. You know, every time I make a suggestion, I'm constantly getting harassed by it and everything like that. Can you please not do that? Just don't do it, because it's annoying. It's frustrating. It's my own opinion. I'm not forcing it on anybody. It is my own opinion. I would really love to see tier 6 and 7 ships, mostly capital ships. The Executor or the Executor would be a very good tier 6. You know, make it like super slow, super sluggish. You know, all these massive ships could be super sluggish and super slow, but get them really good shielding and a huge amount of HP, so that, you know, these smaller ships have a chance to farm the crap out of them. I just, I don't know. It's probably just me. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.